Perfect. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome back to our Women's Wisdom and Impact Collective community. It's wonderful to have so many of us popping in and showing up every, I guess, twice a month that we've been doing. So wonderful. So today we have 4 spotlight speakers. So we'll do a combination of introductions and spotlight speakers. And so let me just get going here. All right, we will go around in my how I have, and if anyone can hit, everyone can hit mute. They're not speaking. Be perfect. Let me just all right, perfect. All right. Oh, there's another one. All right. Just popping in. All right. Let's start. Maggie Rady, you were the first one in the room this morning. Would you like to introduce yourself? And again, we're looking at like a 30-second quick thing, and you're on mute right now. So,
Okay. My name is Maggie Reedy. I'm in Victoria, BC. I was invited by Sue Maitland, and I'm grateful for that. I was a registered clinical counselor and a psychotherapist for 3 decades, but I am pivoting into restorative life coaching. Instead of trying to serve ages 3 to 93 in all places, I am focusing on lifting up the women. I think that if the women are the lighthouses of the planet, that is going to change everything. So I want to do that through one-to-one coaching. I have a women's retreat at the end of September in a beautiful, luxurious location on Vancouver Island. I only have 2 spots left, 14 women max. A lot of sacred ceremonies. We're going to burn what we know, what we don't want to take home with us. We're going to have a salt and blossom ceremony. We're going to float in a pool and have a sound bath. We're going to do all kinds of things in this beautiful location. And then I'm going to do Lighthouse Circles in the fall, which is an online 8-week program to become your own lighthouse. I could say more about the lighthouse, but I think I better cut it short because we have so many women to share, and I just am happy to be here.
perfect. Well, welcome, welcome. And yeah, definitely put your information about the retreat in the chat and definitely let us know when the next one's coming up too, so that we can get
Yeah,
ready
because
for
that's
it.
all I want to do from now on is bring women
Perfect.
together in. I just think when we come together, it's just, I mean,
Yep,
it's
yep.
it's
In
powerful.
person is even more fun.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Lynn, you want to tell us all about you in 30 seconds?
Absolutely. I'm Lynn Schuessler Williams. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I teach a process called Lucid Sequence that is designed to help us all get out of our own way and remove those subconscious blocks from programming and conditioning that we all get along the way. I am the founder of the Wise Women Collective, a free networking and empowerment community. Produced the Be More Conference for Women, a twice a year global virtual conference for women, and co-founded the Bridge Collective, a Chrome extension app that helps us all expand our existing networks.
I love it. And yes, and Lynn has another active women's community too called Wise Women Collective. It's a fun place to be. And let's move over to Sue. Sue Maitland, tell us all about you.
Hi, everyone. I've been working on clarifying what I do, so I'm going to test this on you. I help people stop living by default and start living by design. I invite them to use life's pause moments as a catalyst for meaningful change. And I do it through coaching, and I also do it through online courses and through an online community that I host with live calls every Monday. That's me.
Love it. Short and sweet and very clear.
Thank you.
All right, let's go over to Liz. Liz Coleman.
Hi, thank you. I'm Liz Coleman. I'm in New York State, and after, gosh, like over 20 years in corporate life, I switched gears and now I'm doing life coaching, focusing on mindset, identity, and shifting those blocks that are maybe holding you back a little bit from reaching goals and creating the life you want.
Perfect. Thank you. How about you, Bobby?
I was just saying, yay for New York State people. Everybody thinks of the city. I'm originally from upstate myself. Hi, everybody. I'm Bobby Carlton. I'm the founder of Innovation Women. Day job is running a PR marketing firm. I ran in a startup events company in Boston. And now I help more women get on stage at conferences and events and use public speaking to build their businesses and drive their careers.
Right, thank you. And yes, and Bobby's got a great group called Innovation Women. If you're looking at getting into speaking, definitely check out Bobby's group. I love it. All right, let's go over to one of our spotlight speakers. So today, Beth Allison was the first of the group into the room in our spotlight speakers. Beth, step up. So first off, do you want to give us a quick intro of who you are and what you do, where you're at?
Absolutely. I'm Beth Allison. I spent 35 years in corporate and decided that was no longer serving me, and I am now a life coach. And I am serving people who are very much like me, highly responsible women and fiercely independent. And so I work with them to help them. Sue, you and I are well aligned because my tagline is live life by design, not by default. So that's what I help them do.
Perfect.
And I'm located in Virginia.
All right. And what was it in your life journey that took you in this direction? What were you doing before?
You know, I at 35 years in corporate, and I did a whole bunch of different things from client services, account management, quality. And then there was this little whisper when I turned 55 telling me there was something else and something more. Um, and because I had no idea what that was, I just kept shooing it away until finally it became really loud. And what it was telling me was I was all work and no play. And I was finding that I wasn't doing anything that I enjoyed doing because I was working so much. And what wasn't mattering to me. And so at that point, I went on a journey from going from no work, all work and no play to flexibility of having both. And through that, I eventually found my way to life coaching thanks to Dr. Phil, who was on TV in the background and he was introducing a life coach. And I sat up and looked and said, what the hell is a life coach? Because I was taking this journey all by myself. And so that's how I found my way to life coaching and have never looked back.
Perfect. I love that story. And I would say there's a lot of women who fit into that sequence of events, of that feeling that there must be something else. And so what did you discover to do for fun?
So I love to travel. I like to travel. And, you know, some people would have thought I would have been doing that, making six figures and having vacation time and built in. But I will tell you, in the last 6 years of owning my own business, I have traveled more now than I ever did back then. And I've been over to the UK twice. I've been to places in this country, and I'm headed to Scotland in March. So that's one of the things that I always wanted to do. And one would have thought when you were making six figures, it was about the money to be able to travel. It's not, it's about making the time.
That's a good point. So with your travels, are you traveling just for fun or is there like a work overlap?
Last year, one of the retreats I went to, I worked at. So I was one of the presenters. But it was work and play. So it was with a group of people that I actually met during the COVID times, thanks to Zoom and all that. And one of my friends was hosting the retreat and she called and said, would you like to present? She says, all you need to do is get here. And I'm like, okay, I'll be there. So it's a little bit of mixture. Scotland will be vacation.
Very cool. Yes. Yeah, I think that the mixture thing is a great way to kind of work our business into that fun part of life.
Yeah, it was great that I could write off the travel expenses.
That too. That too. Yes, yes. So, do you have any events and things coming up that you'd like everyone to know about?
Yeah, I do. I actually next Wednesday I'll be hosting a workshop, which is the hidden cost of being the responsible one, and I'll be hosting that at noon and 6:30 p.m. Eastern time here in the US. I'll put links to register for that. I also have a retreat coming up in October, which I um, warmly and lovely like to call the permission slip weekend, where people will be able to come and exhale. And I'll share a little bit of my journey and what I've created in my coaching program. So I've got those two things. And so I will put the links to the workshop, which I will also be sharing more information about the retreat at. And also a link if you want to just have a conversation. Would love to chat.
That sounds perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And I'm sure you've got a lot of cheerleaders here in the group that would love to learn more. So perfect. Yes, put everything there in the chat. And thank you for being one of our spotlight speakers today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You're very welcome. Now let's jump over to one of our other spotlight speakers, Sarah Roy. How are you?
Hi, Kathy. Hello, everybody. I'm Sarah Roy. I am joining from Kansas City, and I'm a career ownership coach. I've been a coach now for almost 4 years, and my focus is partnering with professionals that are in a career transition and considering what's next, kind of answering that question, where do I go from here? And one of the primary pathways that we explore is business ownership. How do other professionals generate additional income, wealth, and equity to achieve their goals? So walk them through a journey of self exploration to discover those different opportunities. So
Very cool. And what brought you to this point in your life? Have you always done
yeah,
that?
so probably very similar to many of you here. I was in corporate America for about 20 years. One of the last places I was employed was about 10 years at H&R Block. So everybody knows H&R Block, right? Our corporate headquarters is here. And I was kind of one of those people that every year or two I get a tap on the shoulder to move to the next place, right? And kind of a jack of all trades and learned a lot of different things, but couldn't get moved up beyond lateral moves. And so tried to, go to battle for myself, and it didn't work out very well for me in that regard. I went through a reorganization, and then eventually it led to a layoff there. They're pretty, again, seasonal, so they're re-strategizing as soon as tax season's over, and there are usually mass layoffs early spring, mid to late spring, I guess, in that regard. So got to the point where I didn't want to repeat, by just going to another employer and then a year or two later having the same situation, and began thinking outside of the box and found the Entrepreneur Source, which is a franchise organization that provides coaching services. And so I'm literally I'm providing the same service to my clients that I went through to discover my next path. And all I can say is I wish I had done it so many years before starting 4 years ago.
Wow, very cool. So the business that you're in is a franchise?
It is.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Can you tell us a bit more
Yeah.
about that? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So, very similar to any other business, except that there are certain things I don't need to worry about. They do a lot of my marketing, social media. They manage my technology and various CRM platforms. So, I get to focus a little bit more on the building my practice. They offer a call center. They negotiate contracts and things for us for different service providers like Zoom, you can book me, calendaring systems and things like that. So it takes a little bit. It's not for everybody, but it does take off some of the pressure and all the wearing all the hats that come with business ownership. We don't often think about um, looking for other opportunities that maybe don't require us to start something from scratch and be completely by ourselves. And I knew the way that I'm built and what aligns best with me. I didn't have that genius idea, right? What am I going to do that differentiates myself? And I didn't want to be by myself, but I know how I operate. You give me a plan, I can execute that thing like crazy. And so and that's really the journey that I walk my clients through is how are you aligned and what's going to work best for you based on the stage of life that you're in. And we do learn that some are cut out for certain pathways, some are not. So anyway.
I love that. And you're right that I think for the majority of women who do set out on their own business, it doesn't occur to us to look for opportunities like that where some of the structure is already there. So no, I love that idea. Perfect. And so do you have any events or anything that you want the group to know about?
Oh, so every month I do a webinar on Eventbrite, and unfortunately, I do not have the date set for August. It's usually the third Thursday of every month, so I don't have it officially set, but I guess tentatively it'd be, um, looking probably at the 20th of August, and so that'll be out on my social media here. But I essentially go through the coaching journey very fast paced, 1 hour webinar, just kind of highlighting some of the things that I do with clients. For those attendees that are curious but haven't made that first step to identify, do I want to work with a coach? What else is out there that I should consider for my career? So it gives them a kind of a high level preview of what I do and how I spend my time with clients.
Perfect. I love that. And yeah, so definitely put all your contact information in the chat and everybody make sure that you're connecting with each other. And that way, when Sarah does have her dates and her registration come out, then she can easily reconnect with you. So that would be perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on as a spotlight speaker and sharing your
Thank
journey
you.
with us today. And I think you've given a few people new ideas on how
Hey,
they
I'm
might
just back from a really amazing
approach their
weekend.
business. And I'll
Yeah.
just mute everybody again. All right, sorry about that. Some different voices that keep popping up every now and then. All right, perfect. Well, let's get back to doing a few more introductions. And let's see, Elaine is here. Elaine, I didn't think you were going to make it.
Hi there. Yes, one of my commitments changed, so thankfully I could join you after all. My name's Elaine Strom. I am an accredited online business manager, and I opened my business 2 years ago. It's called Crafted to Scale. So I work with high-performing service-based entrepreneurs who are totally maxed out and just can't do anything more on their own and unable to grow without help. So they bring me in to manage operations and lead behind the scenes, which frees them up to work with their clients and have that face time and to focus on reaching their goals. It's been a great journey. It's been super fun. I did work in both government and corporate before, and just really love running my own business and working closely with my clients.
Perfect. It is wonderful to have you here with us. And let's go over to Linda Fisk. Tell us all about you.
All right. So good to see so many returning faces. And really good seeing my friend Sarah Roy, and always good seeing Bobby and Colleen and all the ladies here. Thank you so much for being a part of this collective. I'm Linda Fisk. I have the opportunity to serve as both the chairwoman of an organization called Leadership Global, as well as the president of an organization called Curva. Both organizations are really built to help accelerate the success of women who are business owners, business founders, entrepreneurs. Our focus is to help you raise your visibility and extend your thought leadership through speaking opportunities, through media platforms, through all kinds of ways of being able to reach a much wider audience of your ideal client network, and to be able to share your thought leadership, share your expertise and experience with huge audiences of women in positions of leadership all over the world. So we're really, really excited. We have had our biggest month of growth ever in the history of Leadership Global in the month of July. So the month isn't quite over yet, but it is the largest month we've ever had in terms of welcoming new members into Leadership Global. And through Leadership Global, you also get access to Curve Up at no charge. So Curve Up is a AI-driven platform that, again, helps entrepreneurs get access to funding. We get you investor ready, and we connect you with investors who are actively investing in businesses just like yours all over the world. So we help you with investment funding, with speaking opportunities, with resources, with networks, but also as an expert on Curve Up, it serves as a recommendation engine for your business. So literally every entrepreneur that raises their hand and says, gosh, I need help with marketing or leadership or operations or anything, your name is given as the resource, the credible expert, the one and only problem solver for that particular issue. So Curve Up recommends you and your business, and also sets appointments on your calendar for prospective new clients, collaborators, could be a strategic advisor or some sort of referral network opportunity. But literally your calendar is filled up with all kinds of opportunities to help build and scale your business. So really excited about both opportunities, Leadership Global and Curve Up. We now use Curve Up as our official platform for Leadership Global. And within the Curve Up platform, you can work with women only, or you can work with the larger organization. By the end of this month, we expect to have 20,000 entrepreneurs on the Curve Up platform. So really big audience of people ready to work with experts like all of you. So in the chat, I gave everyone a gift, and that is a 30-day free trial of Curve Up. So if you're not yet on the platform, you get 30 days, no risk. I mean, at the end of that time, if you say, not for me, no problem. You can end your 30-day trial, and there's no obligation, no commitment. But I think you're going to find this to be an absolutely unbelievable platform that is chocked full of opportunity, and would love for all of you to take a look and see what you think. That's it for me, Kathy. Oh, and I should just note, it's also in the chat, but all of you are invited to refer and recommend this afternoon if this serves you. Kathy she could run refer and recommend. She's there every single month religiously. I love it. And she could literally run this as well as I do. Leadership Global's refer and recommend is absolutely the best networking of the month. We usually have anywhere from 50 to 250 women there, and everyone is interested in investing in your success. So you're going to walk away with podcast interviews, TV interviews, media opportunities, magazine features, whatever it is that you're looking for. There will be people there that can offer that exact value for you. So all of that is free, and it's available to you should it serve you and you're available. It happens today at 5 o'clock. Really easy. Just click a link and you're in the room. There you go.
That's 5 o'clock Central.
Yes, 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern. And the link is in the chat. And again, if any of you want to learn more about any of the opportunities that we have, I mean, honestly, we have speaking opportunities, we have magazine opportunities, TV, radio, podcast, we have oh gosh, all kinds of master classes and workshops and masterminds. And it's just an unbelievable collective of extraordinary women coming together that deeply invest in each other's success. It's a beautiful, beautiful community.
Yes, and I will vouch for that. I've been a member of Leadership Global for over 5 years now.
Yeah.
So yes.
And
Linda
Kathy
says,
has run one of our leadership boards. She has been a collaborator with Leadership Global in 2 books. She has literally given members of Leadership Global the opportunity to participate in 2 different books. We're looking at a third. It's remarkable how women contribute to this community, like Kathy. So grateful for you, Kathy. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here. It's wonderful. Well, let's hop back over to some of our spotlight speakers and let's jump over to Lena. Step on up, Lena. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I see some familiar faces out there and some new faces, so welcome and nice to meet everybody. I am currently still a full-time corporate communications person. I lead a team of folks that manage communication for an insurance company business development division, and been doing communications and marketing for more years than I would like to say. And it's great to see a dear old friend on this call today, Beth Allison. She actually introduced me to Kathy a couple of years ago, and so it's wonderful to be here with everybody. So as I said, I am currently still in a full-time corporate job, probably retiring in the next 2 to 3 years. So starting to think about, what I'm going to be doing after that. I love to write. I have the benefit of learning at work, at my current job, all about podcasting and video production. We do a lot of internal podcasting, video production, less on the written word, more on the spoken word, which is a really nice shift for an internal communicator. I'm so interested in learning more about how to kind of leverage my skills in these areas, outside of a corporate environment. I'm starting to network with some folks who are creative development experts, marketing experts. Sarah, you piqued my interest when you talked about that franchise. Like some group, some company comes in, just takes all that administrative stuff off your desk so you can focus on the things that you really want to focus on. That's a great angle. I did get involved. I wrote a chapter in a book we published with Kathy last year, Midlife Reimagined. Sue's out there too. Sue had a wonderful chapter in there as well. I've got another one brewing with this year, Rooted in Resilience. Super excited about how that one's coming along. It's 90% of the way there, Kathy, I promise. So that's kind of what my journey is. I've always been in communications, marketing, internal, external. I think I really found my niche with writing for executives and leaders and shaping a story and getting a message across. I have 2 wonderful children who are both married. I'd like to say they're both married with mortgages, which means they're not living with me. And we celebrate every day my grandbaby, who's going to be 6 months old next week. We are just thrilled to have him bouncing around in our lives. And so that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I'm happy to answer any questions or anything anybody would like to ask or talk about.
Yes. So it's interesting that yes, you're on the other side of this journey that so many of us talk
Yeah.
about when we're in the corporate and realize we have to get out of here and start something different. And now you're in the corporate and
Yeah.
just starting that thinking about what's next. And yes, it's interesting to see those ideas percolate, and you definitely have all those life skills that you can create an amazing
Sure.
business. But yes, do you want to tell them a bit about the chapters that you've put in the book so far?
Sure. For Midlife Reimagined, it really was a rather cathartic experience. And I say that with all the positivity that I can. The last 10 years of my life journey had a lot of ups and downs. My parents both fell ill within months of each other, taking care of them, getting them through the healthcare industry, taking care of their needs, trying to organize caregivers, et cetera, dealing with them passing. got through a divorce. And in the midst of all that, really realizing like what is it that I want out of life? It's not just being a mom, it's not just being, an employee, it's or a daughter or a wife. Like what is it that I want? And it really gave me an opportunity to dig deep in that respect. And I went back to what I started out early in careers, that I love to write. I love to tell a story. I love to, shape a narrative. Um, I love to talk to people. Like I'm just naturally curious about a lot of things that are going on around me in the world. So that's how I kind of land. And Beth, by the grace of God, said, "You've got to get involved with this." And I'm like, "No, there's no way I can do this. There's just no way." And so she, she's very persuasive, I will tell you that, got involved, and I couldn't be more thankful because it's really helping me to exercise these muscles that I know have been lying pretty dormant inside for a long while. And so the book that I'm working on now, the chapter, is rooted in resilience, which I can't think of a more timely topic. Because resilience, you can come at it from so many different ways. Personally, as women go through so many stages of their life, and that which doesn't kill us only makes us stronger. Well, that's, being able to bounce back is strengthening your resiliency. From an external standpoint, resilience, I'm in the insurance industry and it's business insurance. So risk and resiliency is on, it's something we talk about almost every day when we're dealing with our customers and our agents and our brokers. So I love this topic of resilience. Another angle for rooted in resilience is 4 years ago now. Now, 3 years ago, my daughter, who at the time was 27 years old, was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS. She's doing really well. She's in treatment. She's feeling very, very little side effects from her meds or from the disease itself. She's doing really, really well. And oddly enough, a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with MS as well, which was very, very surprising because it's very rare to have it between a parent and a child. And so going on this journey of like, wow, having to deal with this other layer of what is life going to look like in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And I feel being in the north, I'm in Windsor, Connecticut, by the way, right outside of Hartford, sandwiched between some excellent medical facilities and teaching facilities. Had a lot of faith in my medical team and am doing well, but I'm always thinking around, like, what can I be doing to help other people, like, talk through their early diagnoses? And I'm still early in diagnosis, a year and a half, they consider early. So there's resiliency can come at, that's a topic that I love the topics, frankly, that Kathy, that you pick, because they're so broad and you can come at them from so many different angles and so many different ways to tell the story, that it's just been a pleasure being involved.
Perfect. Well, I'm very happy to have you onto a second book, and hopefully we'll have many more together. And
I hope so too.
So thank you for being one of our spotlight speakers. It's great to have you here today. Hopefully you can join us in our next events as well. So we're going to move on to our last spotlight speakers, or our fourth spotlight speaker, and that is Colleen Chesley. Come on down.
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, hello, hello. Do you want to tell us a bit about you? And it sounds like you've been doing some career shifting again. And so let us know about what journey you're on these days.
Yeah, that's that's an episode that changes often, I guess, in my world, in the entrepreneur world. But I'm based in Pensacola, Florida, and I run a couple organizations. I've been in the nonprofit world for 20 plus years. So I run a nonprofit called, I've actually got two, Powerful Women of the Gulf Coast, which is one I started burning to the ground back in 2021, and it's still smoldering a little. So we're still putting out the ashes on that one. And then we're converting everything over to the new nonprofit that I built called Powerful Women Collective. And in both of those nonprofits, we help serve women across the Gulf Coast of Florida. And typically, these are women entrepreneurs that are stuck in some way. So I help them get out from wherever they're stuck and help them to double or triple or really take their business to the next level. And then I also work on the for-profit side. I have a consulting business called Powerful Women Synergized. And I used to work in three different areas: operations, strategic planning, and revenue generation. And quite honestly, revenue generation is the part that I really love. So that's what I'm really honing into. And I work with mission-driven women, mission-driven organizations that are led by women to help them produce revenue streams that they may not be capitalizing on. And all of that aligns towards closing the economic power gap. So we all know that women, unfortunately, are not still making as much money as men in the corporate and in the entrepreneurial world. And unfortunately, over the last 5 to 6 years, the number of women open businesses has grown dramatically, but those women are not producing revenue at the same level as male-owned businesses. If they did, we would bring in another 5 to 7 trillion every single year. And I believe that when women bring in that much money, women put it back into their communities. They pour it into their families. They pour it into their religious institutions they align with, the educational institutions they align with. They pour it into their community and they really build infrastructure. So I believe that we could change the whole world when we as women entrepreneurs bring in more money. So that's what I'm really passionate about.
Love that. I love that. And do you have any events coming up that you'd like everyone to know about?
Sure. I have an event next week. I do a monthly series called Build a Fundable Business. And a lot of times it's based on the fundamentals of structuring your business in a way that attracts funding. So whether that's business grants, a lot of times women entrepreneurs don't even realize business grants exist. And there's thousands, if not millions of dollars out there available for businesses. We assume it all goes to nonprofits, but there is equally, if not more money available on the for-profit side. So I love to help women build businesses that are fundable, whether it's from grant perspective or from attracting sponsors, attracting partners. So I do a 5-day challenge, Build a Fundable Business, and we go through 5 different areas that really help you really structure your business, how you look to funders, how you communicate to funders, and how your presence is out in there in the world that can attract more to you. And whether you receive more funding or whether you receive more clients because you're now better positioned and you're communicating more clearly, whatever needs to happen, that's what we work on for the week to get women to be fundable.
Love that. Yeah, no, I think you're right that I would say the vast majority of women in business have no idea about the different grant type funding that's out there. And I know in my area, I've run into a challenge where a lot of it is just based on matching, or you have to pay it and then they'll pay you back. And so it's not quite the same as just getting a cash infusion, but definitely if people can get to know and learn about what's available, that could really change businesses. But yeah, no, definitely put that information in the chat about your event. But one of the things that Colleen was doing in one of her previous experiences, she was working with a group called Women Explore that focuses on creating retreats. And I've been working with them for a couple of years, creating retreats in New York City. And some of the ladies in my group have been there with me. Oh, there's Erica. She was there in person with me last year. And Elaine was with me in March this year. And so basically all of the authors in my books have the opportunity to be on the billboard in Times Square. and also to join us in person in New York City for a few days. So that's one of the things we got coming up. The next trip is in October, and you don't have to be one of my authors to join us in person. You can join us for the fun of it. We have women who have come to join us from all over the world. We had one came from Australia, one's come from Germany, and of course I'm coming across from Canada. So it's been a fun event. So definitely let me know if you're interested in joining us. So the next New York trip we're going September 30th to October 3rd. And then the billboard will be up on October 2nd. So that's always fun. And for those of you that are authors in my books, remember that is an opportunity that's always available to you to be on a group billboard where it's you and a few of your co-authors, or to have your own solo billboard where it's just you up there and your smiling face. And when Elaine was out with us last time, we got some really great photos as well. It was a little chilly that day. And yes, I'm sure Erica's got a few photos from the big day as well. So yeah, so Colleen, do you have any other things about your journey that you'd like to share with the group to inspire them on how do you make your changes in your focus and all those sorts of things?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love the work that we did together, Kathy, on the retreats. I got to actually come and facilitate a retreat with Kathy last, I think it was January 2025. So
Yes,
year and a
yes.
half ago. And then she's been on several more that I helped her with as well. I'm still in the retreat industry. I'm just taking that on under my consulting business. And now I'm actually working with a couple national organizations that are looking to add a retreat division to their line of services. So I still work in that area, and I would encourage you all entrepreneurs, take some time for yourself. Honestly, I don't take as much time for my own self, which is why I jumped into the retreat industry. I don't love to travel. I'm not a real excited about exploring new places, so I had to force myself to do that by getting into the retreat industry and then really helping other people with that. And so many women entrepreneurs I talk to really put that on the back burner. And I would encourage you to put it on the front, because what it does to help you, not only the in-person engagement that happens, but the fun and the relaxation, and you just feel so much more alive when you come back. So I would encourage you to take Kathy's invitation and go to a retreat with her, because she does a fabulous job. And I still think about the chocolate and wine tastings that you do, which are so fun on your retreat. So I would encourage everybody in this room to check out Kathy's next retreat, because I know it's going to be phenomenal.
Perfect. Yes. And last time we added doing a sunset cruise around the Statue of Liberty. So that was very fun too. And yes, and to what you're saying too about retreats, I think all entrepreneurs should look at it from both sides, both from, go to retreats, relax, meet other people, and really get the benefit that way. But then also consider having retreats as part of your business. And whether you're doing things locally and bringing women to you locally, or whether you're going internationally and taking a group with you. I mean, I've been doing the trip to New York. So we did 2 trips last year. This will be 2 trips this year. And I'm also thinking of going to Australia and New Zealand and doing a getaway that way too. So that would be a fun place. We'll take this whole collective and we'll just go on the road. So that could be fun. But yes, well, thank you, Colleen, for being one of our spotlight speakers. It's always wonderful to have you in the room. Let's go back to doing some more of our introductions. And again, everybody, make sure you're putting your contact information, any events and things that you want people to know about, put them in the chat there and reach out to each other. And let's go to Hala. Let us know about you.
Thank you so much. And it's such a joy hearing everyone and getting to know more about everyone. I'll make mine brief and to the point. So what I do, basically, it's health span and cell resonance quantum healing. I'm personally like a personal shopper in your pocket, because there's so much health fads out there. And then you walk down the aisle at a grocery store or a health food store and you see tons of vitamin C, or what do I do? Which one do I take? Or is the stuff I'm taking good enough? And that's where I come in to simplify and have my energy, motivation, and that consistency, you get that with me. I walk the talk. I live every day like I'm playing and joyful, but that wasn't the way. That wasn't the way. I've had many traumas back to back. And when I did live a holistic life, I actually crashed. So it's about the environment. So I help people that how our environment, our foods, and our thoughts can affect our overall well-being. Um, so that's me in short. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Let's hop over to Mindy. Welcome, welcome.
Hello. Hi, everyone. So nice to see you again. Um, I am a transformational coach and community facilitator for women. And what I really do, if you saw my spotlight last week, it was really very vulnerable, but I help busy, high achieving, highly capable women slow down and align with what they truly want. And then I help them create a life and business on purpose. As an example, last night I went to dinner with a friend of mine. We were both directors in IT many, many years ago. And I was telling her that I just woke up, went swimming at 9 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, "You're doing it. You're actually doing what you said you were going to do when you quit." Like I really chose to design my life a certain way. And that's what I help other women do. And as a business coach, I also help women like really figure out what they love doing instead of what they think that they're supposed to be doing. And so I do a lot of consulting with women as well. So, and I put in the chat an invitation to Roar next week. So next Thursday, you guys all inspired me so much. Like we have to stop and celebrate ourselves and what we've done and really the inner work and the capacity that we all have. I mean, listen to us all, right? Like listen to what we're doing and we're creating in the world. So please, please register. Would love to see you there. It's a very safe space and where you actually get to see yourself and then brilliantly reflect that to someone else, what you see in them. So I hope you'll join me. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, everyone.
Perfect. Thanks for being here again. Let's go to Erica. How's it going?
Good, good. I support parents who are exhauster-whelmulated, which is exhausted, overwhelmed, and overstimulated. So I'm a burnout coach and I really focus in on the parenting side of things. My background's developmental psychology, so I've got a lot of child development, special needs, divorce background. I do it through play. It sounds a little silly, but it actually really works. And I teach laughter and all these pieces just to do what you are all doing too, right? Like bring us all back to who we are and back into feeling who we are and not having all of the expectation and all that stuff going on. Slowing down for a minute, being able to giggle a little, nervous system, and then being able to hear it, what it is that you want, and then come up with a plan. Most of the parents who come to me, they do not care about helping themselves. They care about helping their kiddos. And so ultimately, I communicate that through helping yourself, you are helping your kiddos, and this is the way. So if you know any parents who are like going through it, feel free to send them on over. There's a ton of just written content and videos and things on YouTube. And if they want to work one-on-one, I'm there too. So thank you so much, Kathy.
Perfect. Thank you for being here. And yes, Erica always brings a lot of laughter and fun into everything she does too. So always a joy to be with. So thank you for being here. Let's go over to Maggie Constantino.
Hello, everyone. I'm incredibly impressed. Stephanie Jeffries told me, you need to go to this meeting. You have to come to this meeting. You have to go to this meeting. And I didn't really understand why, but now I do. So you guys are an incredible amount of resources, which I'm definitely going to be LinkedIning you guys. This is a special amount of you guys. So my background is a little different than I think everyone else's. Well, maybe a little bit similar in some ways as well. My background is in international relations and geopolitical and technology and finance. I had worked for the state of Colorado, for quite a few years. And then in May, we were laid off, which happens obviously in tech. But I had always been working on my passion projects, my side projects, which I absolutely love. I'm a geopolitical blog writer. So I'll put my information in the chat here, but I focus on telling stories of people that are suffering under dire circumstances. So mostly war writing. So I am, there's actually a couple of stories. So Linda, I definitely want to meet up with you because there are a couple of stories about what's happening in Ukraine to women just like us. And I would really love to highlight their stories and get the word out on how they are surviving, and they're everyday women that are just trying to survive in Ukraine. So that's kind of my background. So I'm really, this time is my mini retirement, as my dad calls it. I've been really pushing hard on my blog, and then I'm also been really pushing hard on quantum. I think there needs to be more quantum computing. There needs to be more women in quantum, and now that it's extremely new and it's going to be revolutionary and it's going to affect everyday lives sooner or later, I really want to be a part of that revolution and use what I'm learning from quantum, from technical aspects to real world with my writing. So translating essentially, and then obviously coming up, speaking events and really encouraging that this is the new technology, and it's coming. So that's kind of my background. And again, I'll put my website on the link, but I'm excited to meet everyone, and just an incredible amount of resources. So thank you.
Yes. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you here. And I see Mary Carroll.
Hi. Yes. Hello. I'm Mary Carroll. I'm excited to be joining Mindy's session coming up. So I'm Mary Carroll Mazza, and I have a PhD basically in behavioral science and studying decision making. And I have been predominantly in tech the last decade, and was also in healthcare for my postdoc. But I'm in a career pivot. So I am very excited to be in this group and in Bobby's group and several other. Natalie Benamou has an amazing women's group. And so I'm in a number of groups kind of trying to figure out where the pivot is taking me in the age of AI. And I'm speaking more. And so I just spoke yesterday at a research conference, and trying to figure out what topics I want to have as my signal talks, and also I'm trying to write and trying to figure out what sort of business consulting I want to start doing. But I'm very happy to be in this group and learn from all of you, and I'm super impressed that everybody has their direction and where they're heading, and I'm hoping to follow.
Well, we're glad we can all help. And yes, definitely take some just words of wisdom and experience from everybody in the room, and you can create your own thing. Perfect. Oh, and Janice, are you able to say hello, or are you just listening?
I'm mostly listening, but thank you, Kathy, for inviting me. I know I've not been available very much over the last couple of years, lots going on, but it's great to be here and to hear all these women doing amazing things. I am a writer, and my life has pretty much been centered around writing in one form or another. Right now, I'm a nonprofit leader for a nonprofit that's centered around Maya Angelou's philosophy of Still I Rise, for children especially, but also for women. I've been doing that for about 12 years now. We have classes, we have forums, we do a yearly celebration of Maya Angelou's birthday, bringing women in and celebrating their lives. But the thing that I think take up most of my time is something called Read, Write, Share. And that is a writing forum that we invite women, children, the elderly to submit their stories and to participate in workshops to tell their stories. Stories have been something that I have always treasured, and I believe the power, there's just a lot of power in storytelling and sharing our stories. So we've done anthologies for about the last 10 years where we invite people from the community and young people to submit stories. We usually have a theme around them. During COVID, we did a lot around resilience and how we got through COVID. Right now, we're trying to work on a theme for next year. We will have our 10th anniversary anthology next year, so we're working on that. So those are the things that I'm doing. Everything I do is around storytelling, creating story. I do some coaching of writers. I am a writer, so I've done quite a few books, nonprofit books, as well as I've done some ghostwriting over the last 15 years. So I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. You're always doing exciting things, Kathy.
Yes, I'm glad you were able to make it. And Janice and I worked on an anthology together years ago, and that was before I started doing that as my business. So that was one of the turning points, I guess, in my exposure to these multi-author book projects. So perfect. So let's go over to Ada.
Hi, everyone. I am currently in Puerto Rico and I'm a transformational grief coach. And I also did a co-author book with Kathy, 20 Shades of Grief. And we had it was a good experience, very great experience, because I hadn't done a co-authored book. I had just come out with my own book, Serenity After the Storm. And that's also in my my background with grief. It's a holistic guide for women and rebuild their confidence in rebuilding their lives after grief and loss. We all go through certain things that we probably think we'll never get through. So I'm also, what else? NLP master practitioner, yoga instructor. My sessions include meditation, breath work, and visualization with my clients. And I try to create some sort of healing sessions for them, and combining the NLP practice along with that as well. I have done a couple of writing workshops, and I wish and I hope that I know I will continue doing workshops here on the island. I just have an appointment with the mayor. I think it's on the 4th of August, and I will be presenting to him the work proposal to create a writing workshop for women here in Spanish. And hopefully I will do it in English as well.
Yes, yes. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, definitely keep us in the loop on that one. And yes, especially when you're going to do the English one. That would fit many of us here. I'd love that to be a fun trip. And perfect. So we're kind of right on schedule. I think I've got everyone right. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of the little boxes as they move around, but I think we got everybody in. So wonderful, wonderful. And yes, as always, I encourage you, connect with each other, learn about each other, friends, collaborations, community, all those things. And thank you all for joining us again, and hope you can come back. Let's see, our next event will be on August 13th. So hope you can join us on that one as well, and have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you all very soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks to see everybody. Stay well.